Since I recently made some more upgrades to this Steyr AUG so I could run a white light on it, I figured I would make a video touching on forward accessory mounting and adding capability to the rifle. As the rifle comes from the factory, there isn't a lot of real estate up top and nothing extends forward over the barrel. This limits the options for mounting a white light, night vision devices, or other accessories such as your tactical bean holder or tack sack. I have a few other videos on this rifle going over running it suppressed and all the modifications and upgrades I have done. If you want to check out any of that, a link to a playlist of all those videos will be in the description. First, I am going to quickly mention and go over all the options out there that I have found when I was looking to upgrade my rifle. If you know of one that I missed, please drop a comment down below so that I and others can see it. Then I will go into more detail on this Mlok forward accessory rail from Corvus Defensio, why I chose to go this route, and what I had to do to get this streamlight in a position that worked for me. Of course, there is a little Picatinny rail section on the right side of the receiver of the A3M1 models, but this puts the light very far back and leads to some issues with activation. There are mounts that push the light forward, but I didn't like that position and didn't want to run a tape switch. Clawgear offers an Mlok forend that has a bolt going through the pivot point of the factory vertical grip mounting location, and then also clamps onto the gas regulator housing. They do not specify if you can retain the factory vertical grip. It doesn't look like you can. There's also a little access cover that bolts in place to cover the gas regulator. There are ports drilled in the area that covers the gas regulator and clamps to it so it doesn't impede gas bleed off in operation. Manticore Arms has a cantilever forend that shrouds the barrel and gas regulator. The forend with Mlok slots hangs down off the extended top rail that replaces the factory Picatinny rail. It looks like you can run the factory vertical grip with this, but my guess is that it wouldn't fold up anymore. Midwest Industries used to offer a rail system, but it has been discontinued for a while now. As far as I can tell, it's not listed on their site anymore. Underworld Arms offers two different Mlok forends that mount on the larger threads on the barrel OD just in front of the gas regulator block. I think these threads are for a bayonet lug or an under barrel grenade launcher. One of their options has a Picatinny rail up top and the other doesn't. The Picatinny rail can be purchased separately from the handguard if you buy the one without the rail and want to add it later. This design allows you to keep the factory vertical grip, but again, it doesn't look like it would fold up anymore. These are pretty slick. I really like this design, and I almost got one of these. Corvus Defensio offers a cantilever forend that mounts off of an extended top rail, very similar to the Manticore Arms option. They make these in key mod and Mlok flavors. Of course, Mlok will be more popular here in the States, but I think in Europe, key mod is more popular. One last company I'll mention is ARID. I saw on a forum that they might be making a rail, but I didn't see anything on their site. Maybe something to look out for in the future. I'll link to a Reddit post from ARID. As far as I can tell, none of these forward rail systems that I just mentioned get rid of the quick change barrel capability. If they did, that would be stupid. That's one of the major unique and cool and kind of useful features of the AUG. I don't have any firsthand experience with any of the products that I just mentioned. Maybe people who have tried them out can share their experience in the comments down below. Okay, let's get into the setup on my gun and why I chose it. So first off, the factory foregrip is cool, pretty iconic looking, but it's a bit big for my taste and I don't use the folding feature. The one time I folded it was to rest it on a bag and sight in the scope at 100 yards from a bench. Other than that, I never shot it with the grip folded up. It's just not comfortable. So I wasn't really married to retaining the factory vertical grip. However, if I did away with it, I needed to have the ability to mount another vertical grip or have a forend that was comfortable to C-clamp like I would shoot an AR. Secondly, I wanted good access to the gas plug as I do run this suppressed and change the gas position regularly. Third, I was only considering how to mount a white light. I don't play around with night vision stuff. I also do not like tape switches, so I would only be activating the light with the cap switch. It was also important to me to be able to activate the cap switch while shooting right or left-handed. Fourth, I wanted to keep it lightweight and minimal as possible. And all of those considerations led me to install the Corvus Defensio forward Mlok rail. This mounts to the location of the factory vertical grip and replaces it, so I added this Magpole MVG. Mounting this light was a bit of a pain. I'll explain what I did, then I'll tell you what would be easier. I played around with a lot of mounts to get this Streamlight ProTac rail mount 2 in the right place. First, I tried an Arisaka Defense Picatinny Scout mount. This was in a perfect spot for activation, but was so close to the muzzle device it got in the way of mounting my suppressor. Next, I tried the 45-degree offset Mlok mount the Streamlights now come with and mounted it to the bottom of the rail. This put it too low. It was awkward to activate with my thumb, and it was right in front of my index finger knuckle and easy to bump on accident. This also got in the way of getting a full grip on the MVG. I couldn't hang it off the side of the rail as the Mlok slots in the rail are spaced up from the bottom corner, so the corner of the 45-degree bend in the mount wasn't low enough. Then I tried a flat Arisaka Mlok Scout mount and hung it down off the left side of the rail. This was a bit better, but still had the same problem as the one before it. The light was too low and in the way of my grip and hitting me on the index finger knuckle. The last thing I tried and what worked out was a small Picatinny rail section bolted to the forward Mlok slot on the left side. I threw the Picatinny mount back on the light. This got it in the perfect spot. I was hoping to avoid using this Picatinny mount that the light comes with to save weight, but it's pretty lightweight and it's pretty compact. Luckily, I had all of these mounts sitting around and was just able to swap them out and try them until I found one that worked the way I wanted. The rail is so narrow this way that if I want Mlok fasteners in the same area, I'm going to have to cut this one short, otherwise it's going to hit into the other one from the Mlok panel on the other side and not tighten up. After figuring this all out, what I would probably recommend for white light mounting on this particular rail is just buy a Surefire Scout Pro with the integrated Picatinny and Mlok mounts that swivel and then lock down at any angle you want. I would have avoided dicking around with all these different mounts. However, this setup saved me about $200 as compared to the full price of a Scout Light Pro. I have Scout Lights from Surefire, but only buy them on sale when I can get them for around $250, but I still saved over $100 by getting the Streamlight. And I already had the little Picatinny Mlok rail section, but tack on another $20 for that if you don't have it. To finish this off, I put some slate black grip panels on the empty Mlok slots, and then I also have a little Picatinny ladder panel here. I wanted to cover as much of the metal as possible because this little sucker gets a bit toasty after a few mags. It directly attaches to the gas block and gas regulator assembly. Anyways, that is my setup for running a white light on my Steyr AUG. It works for me and I'm pleased with it. No guarantee it would be right for you. Maybe you need more rail space than this for night vision devices or running lights in a different position, or you like tape switches. But hopefully this was informative and maybe gave you some ideas or a starting point if you're looking to add some accessories to your AUG. Thanks for watching.